And welcome all SRL fans to wonderful, beautiful Aotearoa here with the Wars playing host to the Roosters. Both of these teams are definitely playing here for a win tonight, and it is a lovely, breezy, sunny afternoon. I'm AMAC in the box, and joining me tonight is Liam Ryan. Liam, I am looking forward to one hell of a game tonight.
Yeah, definitely, AMAC. It's set up to be an absolute belter here tonight. Obviously, both of these sides coming off losses last week, and both of them, you could argue, have been in a bit of a form slump, particularly the Roosters. Obviously, the home side, the Warriors, last week coming off a 22 points to 12 loss to the West Tigers. They struggled immensely last week, and they will be motivated to bounce back here tonight at home in front of their home crowd. Whereas the Roosters, they are coming off of a loss to obviously the Manly Seagulls, 26 points to 18 in round 10. So, as I mentioned, they've been struggling. They've made a change or two this week, and it'll be interesting to see how the Roosters bounce back this week. Obviously, Snicko Bro had a better week last week, and be interesting to see how he plays tonight and can change this game for the Roosters.
Yeah, we both know the Roosters have it in them to get over a win. I mean, they absolutely flogged the pants off my Eels boys a couple of weeks back, so they definitely have the chop to win. Whether or not they can get over the Warriors at their best is going to be another story, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. The Warriors are a quality side, but they certainly are a little bit inconsistent at the moment, as displayed by that Tigers loss last week. Yeah, if they can play at their best, they're one of the best teams in the comp, but when they don't and when they get it wrong, they are certainly a mediocre side and sit towards that bottom of the eight when they don't play well. But yeah, they're still a quality side at their best, and if they really turn it on, they can make that grand final and potentially win the premiership.
As the Warriors, they get to the end of their first set and a good kick out of Kearney. Chapman first to return, and he is met by some solid defence. The Warriors, they have been typified by some of their defensive efforts this season so far, and as you said, just unfortunate to slip here and there. The Roosters, it'll be interesting to see if Snicko can keep his form going, or if, unfortunately, they have to do a bit too much tackling, if any other Roosters can stand up tonight, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. They do have strike all over the park. Another change that I did like from the Roosters. Oh, I was just about to compliment their halves changing, but Hugh Man makes me wonder if that's a good change. Just kicking into the back of his marker there. But I was going to say, I do like the change to Dolan, of Dolan to 7, because I think it will unlock his running game a little bit more. And obviously, Dolan's a dynamic player, and when he gets his hands on the ball in some space, he's very dangerous. I feel like 7, the 7 jersey will allow him to do that.
Definitely. As Saltner has the ball stripped from Dolan, speak of the devil, and they go for the two. So uh, everything's starting off so far tonight here on our game. It's oh, I do have to wonder though why Moana will go for the two. That was almost a back-to-back set there for the Kiwis, and well, they're only 20 meters out. They could have put their stamp on it straight away here, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. They had them on the ropes a bit there, and I'm as dazzled as you are there by the Warriors' choice to take the two. But I guess Moana just want early points and believes that they'll be able to get them in the long run if they're making good meters early on this game. That they'll be able to force the arrows out of the roost, and they won't struggle too much over the course of the game. But yeah, having that extra 2 points could be really valuable here tonight.
As Snicko boots off once more. Wonderful boot all the way down. Moana returns first serve. So it's going to be a good fight tonight, I think, between Moana and Snicko, but I am actually salivating over these forward packs, particularly with how much we see them fighting up the middle. As Tyre, MBT, speak of the devil, forces his way up just shy of the 40, third tackle. Blindside raid, Saltner. Good running there from the number 11. He gets just shy of the 50 for a fourth. Oh, Columbus passes it to Matthews instead. So again, not what they want, but the Roosters, this is excellent start if they want to start really challenging and getting themselves on the board tonight, Liam.
Yeah, they have to capitalize off the Warriors' errors, don't they? I feel like if they don't, they'll struggle to be compete with the Warriors here. But yeah, I think they just have to be quality when they do get the opportunity inside the Warriors' half, because I'm not sure they'll get too many chances tonight. But yeah, if they can take their chances, I think they'll be within a shot tonight.
As Schroninger gets up over the 20. So the Roosters, they're in place for a kick and they look up, they're shaping up left. Human digs a little bit too far into the line. It comes off as a kick, however, and the Warriors are trapped on their 10-meter line. So not the best end to the set there for the Roosters, but at least they're down at the right end of the field, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. It wasn't the greatest of kicks from Hugh Man, obviously. Just dug in a little bit too deep, as you said, and yeah, as a result, the Warriors picked that ball up with relative ease. But yeah, I like this early signs for the Roosters there. They've shown some good meterage, and they didn't really throw a shot, but yeah, they were solid in that set, and I think it's good early signs for them nonetheless.
As Columbus shanks another one and Dolan comes up with it even closer. It looks like we're going to have another night off the boot for both of these teams, which, well, considering both of these captains are getting a little bit tired of that happening to them, this is going to be a painful one if you are Snicko or Moana, as Cooch has to stand that one still or he's going to be a bit forward for that one. Third tackle. Matthews linking up with Hugh Mann. A lovely pass to Snicko, who is forced back about 3 meters. They lose on that one. Fourth tackle. They try again attacking this side with Pepe Lopez, who pushes forward just shy of the 20. They still might be in range for a 40 for a good attacking kick here as Hugh Mann dinks one in lovely to Snicko Bro and puts all of the defensive pressure just a shambles there. He sneaks in behind about 4 or 5 different defenders there. And Snicko Bro is the first to score a try tonight, Liam.
Yeah, that's a lovely kick from Hugh, man. I guess we're starting to see what Sticko saw during the week in changing Dolan and Hugh Man up this week between the 6 and the 7 jumper. And Snicko pounces off that great grubber of Hugh Man's boot. And the Roosters are in for the first try of the night. And as long as Snicko, it looks a manageable conversion, he will start this one out from the left-hand side. And looks like it stayed. No, it goes a little bit, fades to the right, and unfortunately, Sticko misses. That might be uh, huge here tonight. That missed conversion. Obviously, the last couple of weeks, Roosters have struggled a bit with conversions, but hopefully that doesn't cost them.
Yeah, as the Warriors they line up again. Unfortunate to concede that one, but they are only still 2 behind because of that earlier penalty kick. So if it continues this way, it is going to be a tight one. The Warriors, that's 2 in a row in terms of errors that they've had. I don't know exactly what's happened, but I don't think Moana is going to be happy with that so far tonight, Liam.
No, definitely not. I'm not sure who gave Johnny Columbus a kicking license here tonight, but that's 2 errors that he's made, and yeah, I'm not sure if he'll be kicking again on the next couple of sets because that last kick he did was a shocker, and when you're a center, you've really got to get it right if you get the opportunity.
Yeah, it's interesting. We've seen a couple of games this week where centers have been taking a lot more of a kicking opportunity. So whether that's something that is being adopted league-wide or just something for this round remains to be seen. As Moana the second is met with a good kick chase. The 40-20 didn't really come off, but it wasn't such a bad kick chase from the Roosters as the Warriors with Sevu Singh is forced onto the 40. Now, I want to comment a little bit on this Sevu Singh Sheridan Oos swap that happened last week, and they're continuing on this week. Moana, I'm very upset because this has done nasty things to my fantasy team.
Well, I don't know why they changed it, but they do seem to swap them at halftime anyway. As someone that's a fantasy owner of Sevu Singh previously, I just traded him, but yeah, Moana must have seen something out of those two that's led him to swap it, and not sure it was that successful last week, but I think Oos ended up with a try in the second half, so apparently it did pay dividends eventually.
Snicko almost gets to the 30 for a second. 5 minutes until we get some prop interchanges. Schrodinger linking up with Daddy, speak of the props, pushing forward just shy of the 40. Third tackle. The Roosters returning set quite nicely so far as my Cuzzy leading from the front, fronting forward up to 45 meters. Roosters, they're going to keep pushing. They won't end up in the other half for this set, but a good kick chase, if they can continue it, should continue to put some pressure on. Speak of the devil, there's Dolan all the way down to Cambolo, and they limit him. So we've entered that part of the game, Liam, where we've got that back-to-back arm wrestle. And, well, with those props coming on in about 5 minutes, hopefully something changes to really put a rocket up either team and their points at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. As you mentioned, arm wrestle is definitely the theme right now, and when these props come on, I think that the Warriors might have a slight edge. They just seem to have a bit of extra leg speed through the likes of Rex Buckingham and Callum Irwin Jr., who are about to come on. But the Roosters, nonetheless, they should uh, see some leg speed through the likes of Troy Askew, who's obviously an outside back, and they have Chris Joins coming on. So, yeah, it should be interesting to see how some fresh legs uh, open up this game for either side.
Oh, speaking of opening up, Chapman is back into the backfield. Moana is chasing him down, but there is still 10 meters to go. Moana gets his man, but the Roosters will start this set 10 meters out, which is excellent to see if you're a Roosters fan. They continue going right. Olin linking up with Bro. Buckley almost gets over, is almost shepherded over as well. They come back across, and Brev is met well. Third tackle. Do they keep coming? They do. Dolan linking up with Shaq Daddy. He doesn't run onto the ball, unfortunately, and he's pushed back another 5 meters. They're 10 meters out with 2 left to go. They go blind. Dolan linking up with Bro again, trying the Buckley. Buckley pushing and not over there. Fifth tackle, all within this 10-meter line. Don't really count on that 82 meters gained here because most of it's been played in this 10 meters. And unfortunately, it does not work out. The Warriors, they get away with one there, Liam.
Yeah, they certainly do. It was good defense on their goal line there from the Warriors, and you have to feel that the Snicko bro would be a bit disappointed with that one. Jackson Chapman, obviously, with that great kick return, taking it inside that red zone, and they come up with nothing there. A huge missed opportunity. We'll have to wait and see if that cost the Roosters here tonight, but I really hope not for their own sake.
As Damo almost grabs a penalty there as we go into 40-20 territory from Carney. He kicks it. It's on point, but Snicko's there to reel it back in just before it can go over. So again, we're about to see the props go off. As you can see at the top of screen, Shaq Daddy, the big lumbering man, runs off, and a couple of really thin, scrawny boys run back on. So hopefully that speed works out here for the Roosters, as one hell of a weird ball is thrown back to my cuzzy, and it's good to see the Roosters chancing their hand and throwing the ball around a bit tonight, Liam.
Yeah, they're certainly throwing the ball around, as you said. I'm not sure if that last play was a great way to do it, but yeah, they're throwing the ball around a bit more, and it's resulting in them finding, I think, a few more meters, particularly for their outside backs. I think Chapman and Buckley have been really solid tonight, and I think that's a really good way for them to make some meters because their forwards at times they struggle over the long course of the game with making meters, and getting their two-star outside backs involved is a way to take pressure off your forwards.
As Saltner plays the ball. He's bringing it across Moana, linking up with Moana, and Moana is only just still inside. His flailing legs not touching the touch side as Oos tries to pierce through and is forced back himself. Fourth tackle, the Warriors haven't really attacked well this set, and they're pushed over to Saltner, who pushes as hard as he can to get at least over the 40 for fifth tackle and 35 meters gained. Down he kicks it, and he kicks it deep. Chapman, does he have it to get back through the line again? He does, but he's wrapped up well. So 15 minutes left in the half. The score is 4 points to 2. We've seen what the Roosters have been able to do so far. What do you think the Warriors need to do, Liam? Because they're having a bit of trouble getting back up the field.
Yeah, look, I think that it needs to be a similar thing to what the Roosters are doing. Use their outside backs. They're so dynamic as well. Damian Moana, I think he needs to be used a little bit more. Potentially using, I think they've got to use their middle pack a little bit to a better extent as well. They're just struggling to find the meters though through them. So I guess just using the likes of Bunty Kimbolo and Michael Moana in yardage. Oh, I'm not sure I like that from the Roosters though. That's not a way to use your outside backs on the last tackle. It was a bit of a clunky play, and they turned over the Warriors. That could be exactly what they need.
As Irwin plays the ball and Tyre darts out of dummy half, gets up to the 40. Second tackle, they come left. And that's a real dodgy pass, and Kiani takes it off over the sideline. Well, again, the Warriors shooting themselves in their own foot and inviting the Roosters back into the half. So, unfortunately, or unless they can put a few more shots on like that, the Roosters, they might score at the end of this set if they don't do the exact same thing that the Warriors did there, Liam.
Does anyone know when first grade's coming on here tonight? Because it's been real dodgy the last couple of sets. Those really inviting errors into each other's games at the minute, and yeah, they both sides just need to improve a little bit to more to the standard. Uh, it's just simple stuff. I mean, passing out dummy half and resulting in going behind players. It's just stuff that's fundamentals. It's taught at the young ages, but yeah, I'm sure it will be worked on over the next couple sets.
As Kembolo comes down with it with a well-weighted kick there from the Roosters, and the Warriors, through Tyre, are fighting out of their 10. Well, again, it's not a bad set from the Roosters, and unfortunately, I think they were playing a little bit conservative there. They could have really put the foot down and tried for a little bit more from their attack players, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. They didn't really take that opportunity to full fruition there, did they? Yeah, I don't think they really spread the ball enough there, and yeah, you got to wonder, have they wasted a few opportunities here, the Roosters, and not really done enough with them? Because at some point, I think the possession will turn, and the Warriors will get their fair share of possession. Obviously, the Roosters have had a lot of ball inside the Warriors half so far, but yeah, I think that's going to swing at some point. And if the Roosters aren't able to score soon, they might be struggling later on in this game.
As another wayward ball unfortunately goes weirdly, and Triskew is forced to come up with it to get third tackle just shy of the 40. There is a lot of fatigue I can sense out there at the moment, probably why these balls are hitting the ground. Fourth tackle just shy of the 30. Oh, Makazi does what he can, but he caught that ball way too flat-footed. And, well, the Roosters, they're maybe just short of a good attacking kick here as Dolan punts it down to Kembolo, who just lets it bounce, and he is caught back in the dead ball line. So, well, I don't know about you, Liam, but I think your earlier comment is definitely still pertinent. This is not great from at least the Warriors.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure what Cambola was doing, letting that ball bounce. Just take it on the full and run out of your own in goal, because he was well out of his own in goal if he caught it on the full. I guess he was maybe trying to get a seven tackle set, but even so, it's just not needed, not necessary there from the Warriors. They've really got to up the standard here, and defensively, they're doing a good job to hold the Roosters out, but in attack, it's really subpar so far. And I'm sure Damian Moana will be emphasising to his boys at halftime that this has to be improved if they want to win this one.
As Askew passes off to Joins the bench props, they're pushing forward just shy of the 10, 41 metres gained. Kicking time, here we go. Hugh Mann puts a grubber in. The kick chase isn't there. Oos comes up with it. The pressure is still on, however, and you'd think it's only a matter of time until the Roosters cross if they can get the ball back soon and if they can capitalise on some of this unfortunate shoddiness coming from the Warriors at the moment, Liam.
Yeah, well, the Warriors, they're just struggling to make the meters needed to get out of their own end, and they might make it. They It's things like that is what's really costing the Warriors at the moment. Just really clunky plays. Whenever you think they're starting to get a bit of a roll on in the meterage, and then, yeah, that's a better kick from Jackson Kearney there. Snicko bro out of position for whatever reason. He might have been tackling on the defensive line. Actually, it's a really good kick there to flip the script there. Didn't get the 20-40, but still got them out of their own end. And, oh, there might be an error here. No, Jaeger Makazi does well to pick the loose ball up.
Yeah, things are getting a bit sloppy again from both teams. Somehow, the key players are filling in the gaps just as they need to, whether it be with the boot or diving on a loose ball. But I think both teams are definitely going to be wanting the halftime siren to go fairly shortly. As Mayan links up with my Cuzzy, who pushes forward over the 30, fourth tackle. Out of dummy half, Matthews gets up into attack kick position. The Roosters, they'll probably throw it up into the air because I don't think they need to trust a grubber as he grubbers it, and Lord comes up with it. Again, another let off for the Warriors, but again, the Warriors, they just can't seem to get out of their half, and the Roosters are not toying with them so much, but trying to do something by draining some of their stamina. Whether it works or not remains to be seen, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a decent strategy from the Roosters, you could say, but I'm still not sure I agree with how they're playing. Like they're just not capitalizing on their opportunities. And like, only 2 points ahead. It's not like they're setting the world on fire. It's not even really costing the Warriors that much by them playing in the way that they are. And that's a great kick from Keone. And that's a 40-20. That flips the script right on its head. And as I was saying, the Warriors, they haven't been playing well, but the Roosters weren't taking their opportunities, and the Warriors can get a try just before half time here. The Roosters will really be shaking their heads going into half time.
As Kiani has the ball stripped from Pepe Lopez, and just as they got out of the frying pan and started to cheer a little bit, they're straight back into the fire, and Bro is pushing up to the 20. So again, 3 minutes left. I feel probably we're going to the halftime break. That was almost a forward pass there, with a 4-2 scoreline. Um, well, I can only imagine what both of these captains are going to be telling to their boys in the sheds there, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. It's for both these sides, they've at points in this half, they've just been really subpar, haven't they? Uh, Not to the standard of your SRL, classic SRL match, but oh, here's a good run from Moana. Moana might be away. Damien Moana, is he gonna make it? Past the 20, 10, and he's in. Damien Moana with a try to flip the script in this one. Wow, that is a huge try from the Warriors captain. That puts them 6 points to four ahead, and you'd have to think that's with a conversion, that's how they'll go into half time.
Well, unfortunately for the Roosters, that happens 1.5 minutes before the bell goes, and they switched off for about 3 seconds or so, and that was enough of Damo to get around that incoming defence. The bounce of the ball was very interesting. It sort of hit the ground, landed up for Moana. He had enough time to grab the ball, see the approaching defenders, and just plot his chart straight through them. So. 8 points to four going into the halftime break. We're definitely not going to get any more points on the board, he says, for a second time. Whether or not we see a much improved performance from both of these teams in the second half remains to be seen, but we definitely know it is going to be entertaining, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. This second half will prove to be an entertaining one as we'll see Damien Warner get absolutely uh, walloped off the collision there. And yeah, it was an entertaining first half, but yeah, both these sides will need to improve on their performances when we come back from the halftime break. And we'll have one more play here through Broughton Thompson, and that will be it.
And we're back for the second half here at this lovely, wonderful, breezy afternoon in New Zealand. The Warriors are 8 points in front of the Roosters. And whilst the first half was definitely not much to write home about, both of these teams have come out raring to fight to bring it home for their sides. Looking at those halftime stats, Liam, there was some definite standouts from both teams at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. As we looked at some of those team stats at halftime, possession-wise was about even. 53 played 47. Completions-wise was the Warriors were 11 out of 15 compared to the Roosters with 10 out of 13. The same amount of errors for both sides with four. The Roosters obviously conceding a penalty. Tackling, the Warriors had six more tackles with 98. They had eight more missed tackles though, which is fairly interesting. As we said, 40-20 attempt as he got it. No, it's great. Come back from Michael Moana, but he might go out anyway. No, brilliant job from the Warriors wingers staying. But as I was saying, the Warriors have made 8 more missed tackles in that first half. And line breaks wise, the Roosters had 3 more line breaks with 6. And meterage, the Roosters slightly tipped them with 518 compared to the Warriors with 482. And some of the key contributors for each side, Damian Moana had 326 run meters in that first half, give or take. I'm not sure that is a glitch or not, but he certainly at least had about 200 because he obviously ran about uh, 70 meters on that try at the end of the first half. Uh, and Jalen Saltner was the next best for the Warriors with 85 meters. And the Roosters, they had a few key contributors as well. Jackson Chapman obviously had that huge run off that kick return, 128 run meters. And obviously, Jaeger Markazi was really good in that first half, 114 run meters for him. As we see Pepe Lopez work it up inside Roosters territory.
And Shaq Daddy pushed back to the advantage line. Now, both of these teams, they saw what happened in the first half, and they've played around with a couple of very interesting substitutions and swaps. Most notably, Justin Dolan is moved into the dummy half position, and I've seen him just take a little bit of a sneaky dummy half run. That might not be a bad move there from Snicko.
No, it might not be. Moving him to dummy half is certainly going to be a move for the ages if it turns out. But yeah, he has the speed, I reckon, to be able to play well at dummy half. So it'll be interesting to see how that eventuates for the Roosters. But yeah, he's a great runner of the footy, and yeah, using that leg speed that he has is certainly no bad move, I think, from Snicko.
As the Warriors pushing up to the 45th tackle. We also have to mention one of the big moves over onto the bench from the Warriors was Jalen Saltner, who, as you said earlier, Liam, was probably the one of the second best runners out there on the field tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Jalen Saltner will feel hard done by that one. He was very good in that first half, obviously, and ended up getting taken off for the likes of Taniela Tuoiki, and he'd been benched this week in favour of Michael Moana, but I guess he can't really feel too hard done by because Moana I think has been pretty solid, but not really got the opportunity on those kick returns yet.
As we got Pepe Lopez getting up over the 40, 44 metres gained here for the Roosters, and much like the first half, carried on the arm wrestle into the second, as Cambolo gets around the first, but is forced back just shy of the 10. Now, we've had almost 10 minutes of this second half here, and it's almost been fairly error-free. What do these two sides need to do, Liam? Because they're testing each other out and they're just not penetrating yet. You'd think it's only a matter of time before they start doing some of that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that maybe it's the time for the Roosters, especially to try a ball strip. I think that they're in about the range where it's not too detrimental. They try a ball strip and it doesn't work, and they get two and one in the one tackle. But yeah, it could be time for that because this arm wrestle might not be too beneficial for either side, and trying to force an error could be a way to try and get a opportunity on one other side's red zone.
Shaq Daddy, he's doing a lot of work out there and he's looking very, very tired as the Gooch almost gets up over the 50 for his third. Very slow play of the ball, but the ref whistle in the pocket as Chapman dances down the sideline and is forced back. Unfortunately, that looks like it's the theme for tonight for both sides. You get through the line, and that second line of defence just forces you back with their extra pressure and their extra strength. And Daddy comes forward up to just over the 40 for their fifth. We come across for another kick from Hogan. Hogan off the bench. He's been in the half for about 10 minutes, and so far he's had a pretty good night with the boot. He almost got a 40-20, and, well, he hasn't kicked a dud one yet. So, again, the Roosters, they're trying something new, and it's going to be 30 minutes until we see whether or not that's enough to get them to win tonight, Liam.
Yeah, well, they certainly felt that they had to shake something up to you tonight because their lineup over the last couple of weeks had certainly been not working. So I appreciate that Sticker had been is trying something here tonight, and whether it works or not, If it doesn't work, you go back to the drawing board and just try something else. Or if it does, it can be their permanent fix to their uh, poor second halves. And yeah, they certainly didn't have a great second half last week. So be interesting to see how these changes eventuate. As Ross Buckley breaks that first line of defence with a brilliant kick return here, and oh, he's almost into touch there. It does well to stay out in though.
Oh, and I was looking at Dolan's feet. I almost thought Dolan's foot went over the sideline just then. We might have to go back after the game and check to see what happened there because that could have gone very badly for the Roosters. As Dolan, speak of the devil, darts out a dummy half to get a steal about 10 meters with some um, slacking marker defense there. Post linking up with Shaq Daddy. He gets up over the 20 to the Roosters. They'll be in place for an attacking kick here. And with Hugh-Man off at the moment, it's up to my Cuzzy to dink in the little grubber. Unfortunately for Daddy, Singer's there, traps it with his feet. And the Warriors, they save about 10 meters of what would have been a very dangerous Roosters kick chase there, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. It was if that one got through, who knows? They might have been able to score off another grubber here. Obviously, their first try came off that grubber with Snicko for their only try tonight. But yeah, the grubber's proving a bit deadly here for the Roosters. Good job from the Warriors to be able to stop that one, and they might go for a 40-20 here.
Well, Aaron White, he's got a lovely shape to the ball, but the bounce just doesn't favour them, and Snicko Bro returns it, almost being pushed over the sideline. 5 minutes until we get some more fresh legs off the bench, and again, it feels almost like both sides are just kind of in a holding pattern, waiting for those fresh legs, because much like the first half, well, not like the first half, I should say. There's been no points in the last 15 minutes, and with no real errors from either side, not much in the way of scoring opportunities. Although that was a very good run there from Bro.
Yeah, as you said, that was great run from Snicko out in the back there. Beating two defenders was just brilliant work, and they've had opportunities both sides. I think, notably the Roosters having that one about 5 minutes ago in the red zone with the grubber from Mike Huzzy. But yeah, oh here goes Moana. Moana might have a second. Damien Moana's away again. Beats Snicko inside out, and wow, that's a beautiful try from the Warriors captain. That's his second try tonight. He's proving the difference tonight, eh, mate?
Yeah, again, he had all the time in the world just to size up that incoming kick chase, and he sieves his way through and wrong-footed Snicko up the back. So that's 2-0 in that fullback chase, unfortunately for Snicko. And the Warriors, they put themselves 10 points up here, Liam. And with how the points are being scored tonight, 10 points, it might not be enough to secure the game just yet with 23 minutes left on the board. But it makes it a little bit more difficult here for the Roosters.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly makes their task very difficult here. With the rate of scoring in this second half, the Roosters, they might just have to throw caution to the wind and start throwing the ball around a little bit more and getting the ball into the hands of their outside backs. You know, Sticko Bros, Ben Dangerous, Jackson Chapman, just getting it to your best players and hoping something works because at the moment they are just struggling, I think, to find that last pass that turns into a try. They're just struggling to take their opportunities, aren't
As Cambolo, third tackle, 45 metres out. The Warriors, a good return set so far after points. White, long ball out to Kiani, who is forced down 50 metres out. Fourth tackle there in the Roosters' half, and they've still got 2 to go. Lord, oh, that was very line ball for that one out to Singh, but he plants it on the 40, and they have had a good set thus far. White boots down, and here comes Buckley. They're staying away from Chapman's wing, seeing exactly what Chapman did in the first half. But Buckley, he doesn't make a meal of it, and the Roosters, they start in some good field position here, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. As I mentioned earlier, both these Roosters wingers are class. I think that they have arguably the best winger pairing in the entire SRL with Buckley and Chapman. They are just brilliant at exploiting those kick returns. Whenever they give them way to any kind of space, they will exploit that and make you pay for it. But I thought Buckley was going to be able to turn Moana inside out, but he does a good job. And Dolan, he's really fancying himself out of dummy half here. He's taken a few darts already, and that one doesn't eventuate. But I like that he's trying something new because they certainly need to throw caution to the wind.
As Gooch, the center, kicks it down to Moana the second. He can't get around like the other one, but, well, he doesn't do a bad return set here. The Warriors benchies, they come back on, and now that is it until we have our lock interchanges in about 4 or so minutes. And unfortunately, horror upon horror, the Roosters, they give away the first penalty of the second half here, Liam.
Yeah, that's a really rare penalty in this second half, and yeah, that's just not what the Roosters need at this point. They are already down 10 points, and they did not need to give the Warriors a piggyback out of their own half because, yeah, they're looking for the meters to find them back in their own red zone, and yeah, that's certainly not a way to do it for the Roosters, as they're going to have to defend the Warriors here and then probably get the ball inside the 20 of their own line and work it out again.
Junior Tyre, he's back on the field. He'd been subbed off at the half time in place of George Slattery. Speak of the devil, there's George Slattery there. Tyre, he's got some pretty strong legs on him. It'll be interesting to see how he goes in prop for the second half. As Chapman, if Chapman could have got through that line, there was no one between him and the try line. And as you said, Liam, the Roosters, they are fighting out of their red zone right now.
Yes, they are. They are definitely going to have to throw the ball around here because, well, they've got 16 minutes to go. They've just got some fresh legs back on the field. Uh, and yeah, this is their best opportunity, I think. The last 15 minutes, they have just got to throw the ball around and hope that something comes off. Snicko, bro, that's the way to do it, but it's now the last. And maybe they should have tried a 40-20 there, but nonetheless, they'll have to kick it back to the Warriors here.
On a post, he boots it down to Cambolo, and the kick chase is fairly decent to bring him down just shy of the 30. 40 seconds until Chris Lord runs off the field. We'll see if the weight of possession changes in the Roosters' favour with the Lord and Saviour of the Warriors out. George Slattery, 45 metres, third tackle. Columbus over to White. White, a risky pass out to Saltner, who's back on the field, who brings down for the fourth. Very slow play the ball there. The Roosters, they're chancing their ruck interference opportunities, and Columbus is forced to bring it down on the 30. So some good meterage there, 55 for the Warriors. And, well, they're booting it down to Buckley again. No, Snicko, I should say. And, he hits nothing but a wall of traffic there. 14 minutes left. It's not a point a minute yet, Liam, but they need to score soon if they're in for a chance to come back in this one.
Yeah, they likely need to score in the next 5 minutes. You'd have to. Oh, that's not going to help them. Sheridan Oos comes up with the ball and thought it was an intercept, but they call knock on nonetheless, the referees. And yeah, the Warriors will have another great chance inside their red zone. But back on the Roosters, that might be lights out, particularly if they score here and make it a 20 points to 4 lead here.
And Tyre, he looked very likely there, bumping off one. Oos pushing, and a ball strip from Comet Post to save a certain try. He just can't get out. So really good thing there from that warrior is very, very close to the try line there. Don't know what the ref was thinking about letting that happen, but we'll keep playing. Connor Post probably saved a try, and we'll see if the Roosters can back it up with a little bit more defence here, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. As we mentioned, that interesting formation on the goal line dropout. I'm not sure how that would have helped his side there for the Warriors if he had have touched that ball inside that 10-meter zone, because obviously it's a penalty if he does that. But yeah, the ref lets it play on, as you said, and the Warriors, they are working their way back inside this Roosters red zone, and if they score here, I think it is definitely lights out, because 16 points in 11 minutes is just too hard of a task.
NBT, he's back on his lock and he puts it up in the air for Buckley, and Buckley is forced back for another one. So the Warriors, they're not attacking expansively. They're doing just enough to keep the pressure on the Roosters. The Roosters, they need to force an error here, Liam.
Yeah, they definitely do. Whether that's a big hit or getting the strip again, I don't know. But they just need to somehow get an arrow away out of the Warriors for some good defensive pressure. I think that it has to be an arrow because otherwise they have no chance. 10 minutes, they still need 10 points. Even if they can hold them out, they two tries is still hard to get in 10 minutes of footy. They need an error to be able to catapult them on their way towards this Warriors line.
As Moana tries some magic and is forced back for his fourth, just shy of the 20. Across to Oos. Oos is pushing up over the 10. He's been out there all night as centre, and he's not done a terrible job so far. Throwing it back to White as White boots it up and in the air, and that is definitely going to help with the 7-tackle set, Liam.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need. Jackson Chapman with the greatest composure there to take that ball in the in goal and get a 7 tackle set for his side. But they need to do something here off this because you have to say if they don't score here, it might be game over. 8.5 minutes to go. If they don't have a try here, they probably get what 4 more sets. And yeah, that I'm not sure they'll be able to score, get a better opportunity than this.
Roosters, they're about to hit the 40 line for their fourth. They're probably going to have to chance a 40-20 kick here because the Warriors, they've kept them within 20 metres over those 5 tackles. But Dolan darts out a dummy half instead to get up to the 50, not trusting his halves partners to go for the kick there. Corner post does boot it down. Whether or not they can kick chase with 7 minutes is, well, they at least get around Cambolo, and Cambolo brings it out to the 30. The hope of it slowly dying away on the Roosters, but well, to give them their due, to give them some plaudits, they're not giving up out there. They are still attacking this ball with some ferocity, trying to keep the Warriors down in their half here, Liam.
Yeah, they definitely are. They're not giving up. They certainly do not give up in a game for the Roosters, and it's on show here in this final 10 or so minutes. Damian Moana has got a huge hole though. Damian Moana has been absolutely huge tonight. With another great run for his side. Obviously, the captain's had those 2 tries and gets another great run as Keone puts a great kick up and oh, that's close there. Tuiaki takes the ball and yeah, no kick returns. Certainly going to hurt the Roosters there.
A long loopy ball out to Hugh Mann as he pushes forward up over the 10. 5 minutes left on the clock. The Roosters, they need to push hard. Connor Post hits the ball running and gets up over the 20. Very slow play the ball, but the ref, again, he doesn't do a thing. Hugh Mann bumps off one, and he is off and away. Lovely offload there to Hogan, but Hogan is caught flat-footed and only really makes it another 4 or 5 meters. 3rd tackle. Good so far. We try an outside-inside. Shaq Daddy linking up with Bro, who gets through and is pushed back. 4th tackle, but at least they're in the Warriors' half. Hogan. Pepe Lopez, he's been a bit quiet this second half after he saved a couple in the first, but he at least gets 50 metres out of here, and Hogan targets Moana the second. Here he comes. Gets through, doesn't get around that second line of defence, and with 3 minutes left on the clock, I'm basically just going to call it here, because if the Roosters score now, it's mostly just going to be for pride, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. There's what? So they'll likely get the ball back with about 2.5 minutes, give or take. Yeah, it's pretty much done because they'd have to score within about 30 seconds to give themselves a chance, I'd say. And that's probably not going to happen, considering the way this second half has turned out. And yeah, they'll get the ball back with about 2 minutes to go. And yeah, I think I've heard the fat lady singing this one. The Roosters, they might try and score a consolation try here, but ultimately it probably will not be enough.
So Damian Moana and his Wars will be happy to be back in the winning circle this week. That will possibly, depending on how some other results go, possibly kick them back up into the top 4 after they slipped down into 5th or 6th position this week with the losses that they've had, which is something they're definitely going to need because the Warriors, well, next week they're up against the Canberra Raiders and Riley Flynn's boys. They are hungry for further wins, Liam.
Yeah, they definitely are. Riley Flynn's boys have been really good this season, and they are no pushovers here this season. And obviously, for the Roosters next week, they play up against the Cronulla Sharks. They do play that one at Allianz Stadium at home, so they'll give themselves a solid chance. But they really want to impress their fans at home next week because I believe they were not too good last time out there when they played. Who was it? The Seagulls last week.
Yep, and well, we love the banter that usually happens between Snicko and John Boy. It's going to be ramped up to 11 for next week's game. So the bell siren rings. The Warriors are victors tonight, 10 points in it, 14 points to 4. And well, those stats definitely changed how they were in the first half there, Liam.
Yeah, absolutely. Those stats were very contrasting. Obviously, we had the two tries to one, both of them through Moana for the Warriors and Snicko, both fullbacks actually getting all the tries tonight. Uh, 51% possession to the Warriors compared to 49 for the Roosters. Completions wise, 26 out of 31 for the Warriors. Definitely swayed their way in the second half. 21 out of 25 for the Roosters. Errors still about the same. Six for the Roosters compared to five, so one more for the Roosters. Penalties conceded. Yeah, the Roosters they just shot themselves in the foot a couple of times in this one with two penalties. Tackling it was pretty even as well. 196 tackles for the Roosters, so nine more than the Warriors. Missed tackles though. The Warriors, interestingly enough, even though they were dominant in that second half, still missed 14 more tackles than the Roosters did, with nine less tackles, obviously, which is very interesting. Uh, and line breaks, the Roosters, they still had one more line break in this one. And meterage, yeah, the Warriors absolutely dominated that, and that's on show there. 1,156 meters here tonight, almost 200 more meters than the Roosters, and the Roosters were leading by about 100 at halftime.
As we come across to some individual stats, and we looked at the victors at the moment, and well, say what you want about how glitchy some of these stats are, but someone has forgotten to count with Damien Moana clocking 747 run meters. Now I know he broke the line a fair bit there, Liam, but I don't remember him running that much.
Yeah, he's apparently, according to them, he's ran 0.747 Ks tonight. I'm not sure he did that on our watch. Maybe it's more like 450 if he's lucky. Moana, he still had a very solid night though, nonetheless. I think that he was easily the Warriors' best player on the field, and if not the best player on the field for sure, because he was awesome and scored both their tries here tonight. Scrolling down, Keone had a solid night in the halves, 110 run meters, 20 tackles, missed a couple, seven kicks, 279 meters. I thought he was really solid here tonight. For we're in the Warriors halves. Michael Moana, 92 meters on the wing. Really solid game, I thought, from him. Jalen Saltner, he came back on in the second half and made about 25 more meters, 111 in total tonight. 13 tackles, none missed. That's a really solid effort from a back rower. Anything else you want to note, Amy?
I really liked tonight how the wingers really stood up for the Warriors. So we've already talked about Michael Moana there with 92, Cambolo for 70, 75. He didn't get as many kicks down his side of the wing, except in that second half. But when you've got some good, strong returners after those kicks, starting your first tackle in that sort of 40 to 30 meter mark, that really helps with your attack during the night. As we come across to the Roosters, and well, there was maybe one or two topping 100 meters in that first half. The Roosters, they turned on the game for the second one with a couple more tonight, Liam.
Yeah, they did. They were solid overall tonight, the Roosters. Obviously, Hugh Man, 116 run meters. Uh, Mostly played at in the number six jersey. He was pretty solid there, I thought. Set up the try for Snicko Bro, their sole try tonight. He had 18 tackles, one missed, three kicks and 61 meters. Obviously had an error and penalty, which we'll ignore. Ross Buckley, he was solid out in that wing. I thought he tried really hard all night. 121 run meters, really good out of yardage on those kick returns. Um, yeah, three line breaks. Obviously didn't get a try, but yeah, it was really solid overall. Snicko Bro as well. That was one of his best games I've seen him play. 174 run meters. Seven tackles, one missed. Three line breaks here tonight. And two kicks for 98 meters, apparently. I don't remember Snicko kicking the ball, but apparently he did, and apparently he did not so bad a job at it.
Well, maybe he can move. Well, no, he can't really move himself into the halves because he's a back. But when you've got your fullback taking two kicks, that's a very interesting move there from Snicko, trying to stat pad for Origin coming up. Well, that's just about it for us tonight here in the box. I've been AMAC, joined with Liam Ryan. Oh, we almost skipped my cuzzy there. 142 run meters, 22 tackles, just one missed. He did a kick of his own. Not, we'll ignore the errors because it is what it is. But it looks like there's still some life here in some of the forwards of the Roosters, Liam.
Yeah, definitely. The Roosters were solid tonight for their forwards, and I'm not sure you mentioned Jackson Chapman, but we'll give him his flowers as well. 141 run meters, three tackles, and three line breaks for the young back tonight. I thought he tried really hard there, Amo.
Yeah. And so here we go. As I prematurely tried to shut things down tonight, I'll try once more. I've been AMAC in the box, and this has been Liam. This has been a wonderful Tuesday of SRL action. Stay tuned tomorrow for the last two games of round 11.